about what you know about Bhagavad Gita and what you appreciate of Bhagavad Gita, if you have read it. What's your name?
My name is Ramon.
Ramon.
And I didn't wrote the full Bhagavad Gita, only some chapters.
Yeah. Okay. You liked it?
Yes. But it's heavy to write. Every time I get tired.
Yeah, to read. Yeah, it's heavy to philosophy. Right? Yes.
My name is Silvan.
Silvan.
I don't read the whole Bhagavad Gita too. Just a quarter.
Good. All right. Good. Thank you.
My name is Rainer. A very practical book.
Yeah.
And this book I very detailed.
Okay. Good.
My name is Andreas.
Andreas.
Und warum ich Bhagavad Gita lese, ist, dass du hast keine Fragen.
Because there are no questions anymore if you read Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, answer to all questions. Thank you.
I'm Tulasita Shekhar Devidas. I've been reading the Bhagavad Gita and now I'm studying Bhakti Shastra by internet.
Oh, good. I'm going back to Shastra. Good.
My name is Christian. I read Bhagavad Gita and I liked the first thing I liked the most was about the material worlds and the 7th chapter where he explains how he can see God. Like he's the taste of the water and all these things.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Taste for the 7th chapter. Very good start. So, I see that the title of my seminar is Sweet Love for Krishna, the topmost. So, that's technical terms, we call that prayojan, the goal. The goal is develop love for God, love for Krishna. But I started to develop this seminar by studying one book from Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. You know who Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur is? He's one of the spiritual masters in our disciplic succession. And that is the father of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who is the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada. And he made a lot of contributions to Vaishnavism. I have another seminar on that, just speaking on the contribution of Bhaktivinoda Thakur to Vaishnavism. It's a broad topic. So he wrote more than 100 books, about 100 books. And one of the books he wrote is the Bhagavatarka Marichimala. Bhagavatarka Marichimala means it's a garland of praise. What Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur did, he went through the whole Srimad Bhagavatam and he picked out main verses that relate to themes, and he divided the whole Bhagavatam in 10 themes, and he classified different verses, key verses, he put them together under themes, and these themes are 20 rays. Anyway, it's quite technical, more details, and this is more for the advanced audience who know the philosophy of Krishna consciousness quite deep. But my presentation of this seminar is based on his analysis, how Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur analyzed things. That, because he is dividing the verses in 3 parts. It's Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojan. Did you ever heard from these terms? You heard about it? No. Okay. Sambandha in Sanskrit means is re-establishing one's relationship with Krishna. And Abhideya means that one is going to act within that relationship. That's called devotional service. And then Prayojan, that's attaining the goal of devotional service, which is, what's the goal of devotional service?
Krishna Prem.
Krishna Prem, yeah, love of Krishna. So, what I did is, I took the analysis of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and apart from the Sambandha, apart from Abhideya, and apart from the Prayojan. But before re-establishing our relationship with Krishna, we need to know what that means. One who is acting or has realized this relationship with Krishna is a liberated person. And a liberated person demonstrates certain symptoms. A person who did not yet realize who he is and his relationship with Krishna is called conditioned. Conditioned by material nature. So, our first lesson today is to understand what conditioned means. How am I conditioned? How am I under the influence of illusion? How did this came about? Because if you don't know that, how can you do something about it? Right? That's knowledge. I'm in difficulty. How did I came in difficulty? What are my symptoms of illusion? But before going into that, I want to start with something very positive. And that's, I want to speak about the highest experiences of love of Krishna. And when Lord Krishna was in Mathura and he had just killed Kamsa, then all the residents of Vrindavan, they went back to Vrindavan. But Krishna had promised the residents of Vrindavan that he would come back to Vrindavan. But now he was in Mathura and he expected every moment that great inimical kings like Jarasandha and many others would come to Mathura and attack the city. So he could not leave Mathura. Yeah. So he decided to send Uddhava to Mathura. Uddhava is described in the Bhagavatam as a pure devotee of Krishna. No material aspirations whatsoever. And he looked exactly like Krishna. He had a dark blue complexion also. So he was practically looking like Krishna. He was a very sweet personality. And Krishna sent him to Vrindavan as his representative. So when he arrived in Vrindavan, it is said that when on the way he saw Krishna's imprints in the sand of Vrindavan, he felt already great ecstasy. And it is described in the Bhagavatam that he was rolling in ecstasy in the sand of Vrindavan. But then he arrived at the house of Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda Mata. It's the father and mother of Krishna. And he saw that they were very grief-stricken. They were really like suffering from Krishna's separation. They were always thinking of Krishna. And he saw tears flowing from the eyes of Mother Yasoda. And like the Nanda Maharaj was looking like depressed. But then in the Bhagavatam it is said, then Uddhava, when he saw them, he joyfully addressed Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yasoda. So, joyfully. That seems strange. The other person is suffering and Uddhava is joyful. Yeah, because Uddhava saw their deep love for Krishna. So what can we learn from that? It means that all emotions on the spiritual platform, also emotions of separation, they are full of transcendental happiness. The so-called anguish and separation of pure devotee is just another form of ecstasy. So I just want to address the point here that in our conditioned state, that's very difficult to understand. And we will understand further what conditioned state means. Because we don't have such an experience in this world. Our separation from someone is a great bliss of happiness. Because on the spiritual platform there is no duality of the body as the self and the soul as the self. No. There is no duality. Why do we experience the stress of the body? Or why do we experience the distress or happiness? Because we are identifying with the body. The body feels distress or the body feels happiness. This is good for my body and I feel happy. This is bad for the body or the mind and I feel unhappy. that. I just, with this introduction, I want to show, look, this Prema Bhakti is something we cannot understand in our conditioned state. That we will have misconceptions about it. As long as we are not liberated, you cannot understand what really Krishna Prema is. But how to develop this Braj Bhakti, this most intense love, this highest love from the residents of Vrindavan for Krishna, how to develop it? What do you think?
Follow the process.
Please?
Follow the process.
Follow a process, that's a good idea. What do you think about the process? What does it mean for you?
To follow Rupa Goswami.
Following in the footsteps of previous acharyas. Good proposal. Other suggestions? How are we going to develop that love?
Then follow with sadhana.
Sadhana. Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. Regulated devotional service. Yes.
And depends on mercy of Krishna and Guru.
And depend on Krishna and Guru.
Mercies.
On their mercy. Yeah. Other suggestions? It's important to know. That's why we are here, right? We want to develop love for Krishna. I can tell you what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said. How to develop Braj Bhakti. Braj Bhakti, he says, can be developed by chanting the holy name of Krishna without offenses. But that's not so easy. Because without offenses means with pure mind. And how to come to that stage of offenseless chanting? That people in general, they don't know these things. Pravrittim sha nivrittim sha chanana vidur ashura. Those who are demoniac in mentality, who act for the satisfaction of their body, they don't know what to do and what not to be done. So, but where can we find what to do and what not to do? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Tashma Shastra Pramanam Te Karyakara Vyafastita. So, you accept the scriptures, such as Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, as evidence and study their teachings, you're following them. Execute it in your life. Live the scriptures. That. Because from Bhagavad Gita one can understand what is duty and what is not duty. And by that we can elevate ourselves from the conditioned state to the liberated state. To know what to do and what not to do. And that's in the scriptures. Therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has summarized these instructions in his Bhagavatarka Marichimala to help us to go from one to the other. So, based on this analysis from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we will first explain the symptoms of conditioned souls and then liberated souls. So, now we start with the symptoms of conditioned souls. what according to you are the symptoms of a conditioned soul? Why are we conditioned?
We are attached for the results, for example.
We are attached to results. That's a good proposal, no? We have attachment to things in this world, yes. Good.
Servant of our senses. We're servant of our senses.
Yeah, we want something that gives satisfaction to the body. And why do we want that?
Because we identify.
We think we are the body, yes. Good point. Other point?
We still don't realize that we are servant of Krishna, but it thinks that we can be servant as a god of this world, so then to have power and positions.
Yeah, you are saying different things. Since we have to realize that we are servant of Krishna. That's what you are saying, but it means we have forgotten, right? Okay, that's a good point. That's the first point I want to address. We have forgotten who we are. That's a big problem. That we have forgotten Krishna, and we have forgotten ourselves, because that's going together. That because we are servants of Krishna. Mamai Vamsoji Veloke Shiva Buddha Sanatana. We are eternal part and parcels of Krishna. But once we were in the spiritual world. Some way or another we have developed a curiosity. How would it be to be Krishna? Because Krishna is in joy. And just by the desire, one is put into the material world. In the spiritual world, nobody has such desires. Because he's eternally happy related to Krishna. That, how this curiosity has developed, this is a big point of discussion. And nobody agrees about it, how it came. So many opinions. That. But Srila Prabhupada said, don't concentrate on that. That's not important. Important is we are conditioned and we have to get out. When we get out, we will know. And when you are drowning in the ocean, then try to get out, otherwise you will drown. Yeah. So, but what's happening when you forget Krishna? That, because we are individuals. So when we forgot Krishna, yes, Krishna said, yes, you want to enjoy? You first forget me. Otherwise it will be too painful for you. Because I'm the enjoy. The post is already taken, so. And then he arranges that we can go to the prison house of this material world. When you go in a prison, you get a prison suit, outfit, prison outfit. You get underwear, which is a subtle body, that mind, intelligence, and false ego. And you get your outfit, which is the gross body made of earth, air, ether, water, fire. So, we forgot Krishna. But we forgot Krishna, but then we are individuals. That doesn't change. We have all our personality. But because we have forgotten who we are, and we have a need of a personality, we started to identify with our prison outfit, which is the body. We started to identify with the mind. I'm thinking, feeling, willing of the mind. And when identifies with the body. Srila Prabhupada once upon a morning, he was making a morning walk, a japa walk with his disciples, and in a park in America. In the morning it had frozen a little. And here and there on the pathway there was ice. And many disciples were with him. Tamal Krishna Maharaj was there. Srila Prabhupada was walking, and at a certain moment he takes his walking stick and starts to break the ice. Tamal Krishna Maharaj was thinking, oh, why is Srila Prabhupada doing that? Should I ask him? And then he asked Srila Prabhupada, why are you breaking the ice? Srila Prabhupada continued to break the ice, and he said, oh, this ice is not a normal condition of the water. So our conditioned state of forgetting Krishna, that's not our normal condition. The Krishna consciousness is not something unnatural or something which is imposed on the mind or something. No, it's there already in the soul, but it's now dormant. It's covered over. It's covered over by these two bodies, subtle and gross. And it's covered over by various false conceptions, illusions, which emanate or which is a consequence of identifying with the body. Because identifying with the body is the first error, it's the second error we make. Because the first error of a conditioned soul is that he has forgotten Krishna. That's the first error. And the second error what that one makes is identifying with the body. And then, of course, then if one has forgotten Krishna, what is the remedy for that? Yeah? Any idea? What's the remedy of... What can we do against that? We have forgotten Krishna. Yes? To hear and read about Krishna, yes? Please?
Just translate.
Yeah, okay.
In den Atemgängen.
To go into breathing.
To go?
To go into breathing.
Breathing?
Wenn ich beim Atmen bin ich bei mir. Und nicht im Außen.
When he's concentrating on his breathing, he's in himself and not in the outward.
Go internal. Good. That's a proposition. Okay. So, how can we know Krishna again? What? Yes.
Sorry. We can associate with the people who knows about Krishna, they can explain about Krishna, how he is and what he does.
Yeah. Ask information from those who know Krishna. But how to know Krishna? What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? How can we know him?
Inquire from someone who's
That's already said, yeah. Inquire from someone else. But you were interested in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. What's the first verse?
that you can know him free without any doubt.
And how can we know him? It's right. Krishna says you can know me with any doubt. Now the essence, how? I will tell you. Now we will hear what Krishna says. How we can know him in full, he says. He says, Maya sakta manaparta yogam yogam adashyasa samsyam samabaho. Yeah. Maya sakta manaparta yogam yogam adashyasa samsyam samabaho. And then samsamabhaho. Sagamana. Krishna says, Maya sakta manaparta. You fix your mind on me, Krishna says. And yoga matashvasa. Then you can know me without a doubt. Yeah. Samsyam samagaman yatashaknashtakshina. Krishna says, now here, O son of Peter, all by practicing yoga in full conscious of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me free from doubt. There are many yoga systems to do that. One of the yoga systems is Dhyana Yoga, and there it starts with yam and niyam. Niyam are things to do, and yam are things not to do. And in the niyam there are breathing exercises. But that's the beginning of the yoga process. Because the goal of the yoga process is to fix the mind on Krishna. That's what Krishna says in the 6th chapter. That says, Evam Pansamanasa Paramatma, yeah. Samaita. And when the mind is peaceful, then one comes in contact with Krishna in the heart. Anyway, there are different yoga processes, but they all lead to the same thing, is fixing the mind on Krishna. Krishna is the goal of all yoga systems. In the 10th chapter, text 10. When a person knows the goal of life but is addicted to the fruits of activities, he is acting in karma yoga. When he knows that the goal is Krishna, but he takes pleasure in mental speculation to understand Krishna, he is acting in jnana yoga. And when he knows the goal and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he is acting in Bhakti yoga or Buddhi yoga, which is a complete yoga. This complete yoga is the highest stage of life. Bhakti yoga is a complete yoga. Different yoga systems, they all lead to knowing Krishna. But the main remedy is one or other, we have to fix our mind to Krishna again and not forget him. So we have the first symptom of conditioned soul is we have forgotten Krishna. And the remedy is fixing our mind on Krishna. That's what we have to remember for now. That's alright? Important to remember that. Because now we go to the second point. We have forgotten Krishna. So I've forgotten who I am. And I start to identify with the body. And by that, two false concepts develop. The false concept of I, which may apply to I'm the mind or I'm the body. If one thinks I'm the body, and then he becomes attracted to things in this world. And then the idea of mind develops. And by that, the mind becomes absorbed in material activities for the satisfaction of this false I and false mind. And this is the cause of our entanglement in this material world. It let us think that we are doing things in this world, that we are in control of this world. That's what we wanted to enjoy. So this is the cause of our transmigration from one birth, from one species of life to another species of life. That this I and mine. Because we have two choices. Yeah. Of course, if you think this is mine, then how can we understand that this is an illusion? Like, I give you 1 million Swiss francs and say it's yours for 1 second. How do you feel? So this life is like, this morning we chanted the song of Govinda Das, and we didn't have the translation, but he says in the song that life is like, it's as stuttering as a drop which falls on a leaf, falls on the ground. It's just there for a moment. But by that illusion, we think things are, this is mine. But we ourselves are here only for a moment. How long can you say this is mine? Not long. It's so it's a false conception which goes with the body, because as long as the body is there, maybe we can say this is mine, but then the body is not there. And the body is gone. So nothing is ours in this world. Everything belongs to Krishna. And everything should be used in his service. That everything, every capacity we have in our should be surrendered to Krishna. Therefore we have two choices. In Bhagavad Gita 3.30, Krishna says, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyata atmasvetasya nirasvirat nirmamo bhutva yutyasvav gatashvaraha. Krishna says, therefore Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me, do them for me, and do them in full knowledge. Full knowledge means you do it for me. That. And without desire for profit. You don't want something for the body, for the self, for the false self. That. And we don't claim any proprietorship. There is nothing ours. Therefore, Arjuna, Krishna says to Arjuna, so don't claim proprietorship for everything. Don't think of profit. You just fight this battle for my pleasure. And he will say, Krishna will say later, don't worry. I killed already everyone on the battlefield. So I've done it already. Because you can anyway only become my instrument. That's only what you can do, being my instrument. Because I'm the doer, I've already done it for you. So just be my instrument. Nirmita matram, Krishna says. That, and that will be the cause of great happiness, inner satisfaction, spiritual satisfaction. Otherwise, what is the choice? That then we are situated, we can not hear Krishna from Bhagavad Gita or from the heart and just do our own thing. Yes, we can do our own thing and think we are the owner. And try to become happy, what never will happen. Because sense gratification, there is no happiness in it. If you are hungry, then what does it mean? Hunger means a pain in the stomach. Sometimes, at least once a year, some of us will fast 20 hours on Bhima Ekadashi, and then we even don't take water during 24 hours. It's like the body, the stomach is going to burn you inside, that feeling, it's a pain. But then we eat and immediately energy is coming in the body. We feel energy coming, we feel satisfied, and we think that's our happiness. But it's just the pain that goes away. This is not happiness. Happiness is felt on the soul level, cannot be get on the body level. Otherwise, if we think, yes, I'm not interested of hearing Krishna in this knowledge, let me think I'm the body, and Krishna says, alright, so sariram yattavapnoti, you will get another body, Krishna says. Saya ukamatishvara hitvaitani samyati vayogana ivasayat. At the time of death, your false conceptions of I and mine, they will create your next body. According to your consciousness of I and mine, then you get a new body. Your consciousness can be on the animal level, only eating, sleeping, defending. Then you get a comfortable animal body. So you can, you can be in higher consciousness. You can think you are the mind. So many possibilities to get different kinds of bodies to fulfill your material desires of false I and mine. Yeah. And then at above what's happening, Krishna says, Shrotram Shakshu Sparshanam Sha Rasnam Jnanam Eva Sha Adistaya Mayashayam Vishyam Upashivate. Then, yes, your body will be formed, will be constructed around your false conceptions of life, which take already a form in the ether, and around that your body is constructed of the material elements, and you get an ear, you get an eye, you get a nose, you get all your senses, and then Visayan, you can enjoy again, Visayana Pasivate, and try to be happy, thinking you are the body. But now, first thing we spoke about was we have forgotten Krishna. Second thing, we are developing a false I mind. We think we are the body, and we think this is mine. Srila Prabhupada, once he arrived in an airport in America, and all the devotees were waiting upon him. And I heard the same story from different disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and they are all saying the same. Srila Prabhupada, he sat down and he started to give an arrival address. And the first thing he said, please, please, believe me, you are not this body. And the devotee said that Srila Prabhupada, he was saying it with such an intensity that everyone for that moment could feel, yes, I am not this body. Because this is insanity, a great insanity. We are the soul. We have nothing to do with this body, but still we think we are this body. And this insanity is deep, deep rooted. And this is fueled by this attachment, this I and mine idea. And this leads to the third symptom, which is uncontrolled mind and senses. Because what's uncontrolled mind and senses? And that's a problem for us, because by this uncontrolled mind especially, we are unable to fix our mind on Krishna and to come out of our problems. That uncontrolled mind and senses. That Prahlad Maharaj, he said to his father, Hiranyakasipu, that he gave him direct knowledge he received from Narada Muni. He said, Matirna Krishna Partosvatavami mitopi patyeta Shriavatanam Ananta Gobir Vishatam Tamishram Panaspanas Sarvata Sarvnanam. He said to his father, your attraction for Krishna will never develop as soon as your mind is uncontrolled. Because your mind is uncontrolled, Ananda Gobir, uncontrolled mind. Ananda Gobir means uncontrolled mind and senses. Ananda Gobir, Vishatam Tamishram. Because your mind and senses are uncontrolled, you are on the way to hell. Vishatam Tamishram. Tamishram means tamas. You are going to hell. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Udaret atmanatmanam atmanam apasadiyat atmeiva atmanapadur atmeiva ripur atmana. With the mind you can degrade yourself or uplift yourself. The mind can be your friend. The mind can be your enemy. And the mind is your enemy when it's absorbed in these ideas of I and mine, false I and mine. Then it's your enemy. Because what are you doing? Punaspuna sarvata sarvananam. You are always doing the same thing again and again. Einstein, he said that one who does the same thing again and again, but he is he is expecting every time a different result. He's insane. So, and that's what we are doing lifetime after lifetime. What are the activities that we are doing? Eating, sleeping, defending, after sex life, the opposite sex we run around after. And every time the mind said yes, and this time you will be happy. But it never happened for no one in any species of life. But still we believe the mind, yes, this time if I do this, now it will make me happy. So the mind is fooling us. Because the mind, we think we are the mind. It is so strong, this identification with the mind. If you get rid of this identification with the mind, if one has realized I am a spirit soul and not a mind, that's called liberation. So, unless you are liberated, you will identify with the mind. It's not just an intellectual thing. Because we hear, yes, we are the soul. Then you go out and you act as the body and the mind again. But you have to learn how to act as a soul. That's not. And if you come to that point, then you can control the senses. That Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita how to control the senses. Yes. It says, Bandur atmatmanas tasyaya natmai vatmana chitaha anatmanastu sattvatve partatatmai va sattvavat. Krishna says, yes, if the mind is uncontrolled, it's your greatest enemy. If the mind is controlled, it's your best friend. Because when the mind is controlled, you can use your mind to think always of Krishna. So the solution is engage especially your mind and senses always in the service of Krishna. Then they have no time for sense gratification. You don't give the mind a chance to utilize your senses for the satisfaction of the senses. But that's an art to be learned. That's not something you do from today to tomorrow. That it's a gradual process. But to come to that point, we have to become yogis. You have to follow the basic principles of the yogis. That to control the mind. Krishna says, Nat nastatas yogis trinashikampanas anashnatas nasati svapasilasya chakrato naiva charna. Krishna says, don't eat too much. Don't eat too little. Be balanced in your eating. Be balanced in your sleeping. Not eating too much, not too little. That yukta viharasya yuktas istasya karmasu yuktas svapnavabotasya yoga bhavati dukkha. Krishna says, don't over-endeavor for things. Be balanced in your work and have also some Krishna conscious recreation. That don't sleep too much, don't sleep too little. Then yoga bhavati dukkha. Then one can, by that balanced life, one can come to the point that one is not too much disturbed by the body and the senses. So that the mind can become a little peaceful. And then you can start to control the mind. Of course, to start to control the mind, first you have to disconnect with all activities that aggravate your situation, that makes you more diseased. Because if one is engaged in sexual activities, that will contaminate the mind so much with lust that you cannot control the mind. The mind will let you do things you don't want to do. You want to control your senses, but your mind will not allow it if you are too heavily contaminated with this sexual attraction. Therefore we have to follow brahmacharya principles. That is not something extraordinary. These are just basic religious principles which are followed by all yogis. Whatever idea they have about yoga, they have to follow yam niyam, rules and regulations. That's everywhere. Because otherwise you cannot control the mind. The purpose of yoga is to control the mind. And then we chant Hare Krishna. But Arjuna says to Krishna, you want me to control my mind? But yato yatani nishanati manasham silamashtiram. Arjuna said, it's not possible. It's chansalam, flickering all the time. My mind is going from there to there. How can I control? Tato nyamyeta atmaneva vasamnet. It's very difficult to get under control. It's like the wind, controlling the wind. Yeah. Krishna says, Asam sama baho. He says, strong element Arjuna, cool down, no problem. That there is no doubt. He says you can do it. Asam sama baho. Manu durnichramcham. You can get the mind under control. You can get it under control. He says, and now, abhyasa yoga. Kantya, he says, abhyasa, practice. You have to practice. And vairagyeன sahyate. You have to feel detached, Krishna says, from your body and your mind. Feel detached, he said, and try to control. You will be able. Because the mind wanders here and there. But yeah, you have tato nyamyetes atmaneva samyanayat. It's wandering here and there, but you have to bring it always under the control of the self. So we are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra in the morning, and the mind, we want to fix it on Krishna, and 3 seconds later, it's somewhere else. What do? Continue to chant? And don't worry, no. We have to bring the mind back to Krishna. Bring it under your control, your mind. Not easy. Bring it under your control. It's like a horse. It's going out of the stable and you have to get the horse and back into the stable. And that again and again. So if we chant Hare Krishna, it will be effective if we chant with full concentration and all the other things of this crazy material world out. I want Krishna now. I'm very fixed. I will chant Hare Krishna. Not trying to control the mind by one's own force. That will also not help. But we cannot control the material nature. But by calling out, by chanting the holy name in helpless condition, and with great concentration, and try to bring it back always, again and again. And if you do that the whole morning, you will see that during the day you will identify less with the mind, and you will have the spiritual strength to tolerate all these crazy desires in your mind, and they will come, but you will have the spiritual strength to tolerate, and that's very important. And now I want to end with the last point, a fourth item or symptom of a conditioned soul. It's we are endeavoring for temporary fruits. That we are acting for sense gratification, for a bag of skin. That. And we are doing that under the influence of the material energy. This body is a bag of skin. In America, Lilasuka Prabhu is our Minister of Book Distribution. He told during the Brahmachari seminar following story. Because in America there was a frontal collapse, an accident between a truck and a car. And the car was completely smashed by the truck. And then the police had to come at the place of the accident. Then the police officer arrived. And he could see in the car that it was a woman who was driving. And he could see the body of the woman. Her face was untouched. And you could see it was a beautiful young lady. But then this part of the body, everything was rushed out of the body by the truck. The heart, the liver, everything was thrown everywhere around. And the police officer, just by seeing that, he left and he quit his job. But that's what we are dealing with, is this material body. It's a cause of misery. You are young, most of you. But when you become older, then you start surely to understand how this body is a cause of misery. Srila Prabhupada says, from the age of 40, old age begins. It means from the age of 40, the body starts to rot. It's a rotting process which goes gradually. And if one identifies with the body, then and things are in the body, one will suffer like anything in old age. Identifying with this body which deteriorates at every moment. But if one becomes Krishna conscious, one is not disturbed by that. One gets the mental power to understand I am not this body. And he becomes more and more happy while the body is getting older. But the disease is that one acts for sense gratification. Sense gratification which is even available for the animals. It's already arranged for the animals. Why is it not arranged for our body? It's also arranged for our body. But we see everything in this world prays to God for material things. And Krishna also says that in Bhagavad Gita. Yes? Shaturvida pachante mam jnana sukatira arjuna artushikna shyartarti jnanisam paratarshava. He says there are four kinds of men who approach me. Those who are in distress. Those who want some knowledge. Those who want wealth to enjoy the body. And those who want to know the absolute truth. Of course, Krishna says the last category is the best. But even these jnanis, those who want to know the absolute truth, Bhaunam jnanamante jnanamama prabhachate vase samavamiti samatma sudurlabha. only those who want to know the absolute truth, because they are going forward on their own speculation, basis on their own intellectual power. It will take many, many births before they conclude that God or Krishna is everything. And then from there it starts. That's the first stage. But it's temporary fruits. So one can understand this by transcendental knowledge. It's not so difficult. I explained already, or I didn't, I don't know, but if you have a dream at night and you get up the next morning, what do you think about the dream? Do you think about it?
It's not so serious, it's only a dream.
It's only a dream, it's not so serious. And why do we think it's not so serious? Because
we think it's not real.
Why?
Why we think it's not real?
Yeah.
We have this life.
Yeah, we have this life. Yeah. But while we were in the dream and we were attacked by a tiger, we took it very serious at that moment.
No, that long yes.
It's a nightmare. We took it very serious. But when we wake up, what do we think of the dream? We think it's not so serious.
It's only illusion.
Because it was an invention of the mind. And it was temporary. In the dream I might have taken it serious while in the dream, but when I wake up I see things as they are and I know this was temporary, it has no value. But the dream is happening on the platform of the subtle body, which is mainly the mind, intelligence, material intelligence, and the idea of ein mind, because it's the mind which is active. But the gross body is not active. So this is on the level of the mind, and we understand this mind is just making up a story. But, it's temporary. That's the main criteria. It's temporary. It was there in the dream, but it's not there anymore. Now I'm awake. One will become spiritual awake on the consciousness, not of the mind, but of the soul. Soul consciousness, not mind consciousness. One becomes soul consciousness. We have to elevate. There are different levels of consciousness. That's in Bhagavad Gita. 5 levels. You have Annamaya, food consciousness. You have Pranamaya, you see living entities. I'm not alone, other living entities. Then you have Manamaya, and then one thinks I'm the mind. And I'm interested in art and culture and study at the university. So I'm a big academic or knowledge professor. That's on the mind, that's higher level of illusion. But it's also not material. And above that is the consciousness of Vijnanamoya, one was realized I'm the soul. And above, then one understands I'm not the soul. It's not yet self-realization. Then one has to come to self-realization. It's Anandamaya. That's really the soul level, blissful consciousness. Always no duality of happiness and distress of the body. But one who is in that higher consciousness, Anandamaya, on the level of the soul, is spiritually awake. And he sees this life with the gross body, it's like a dream. And the dream starts with birth and ends with death, end of the body. And that's the gross material dream. But when this dream is ended and we remain in this lower consciousness, you go to the next dream. Again, birth. And it's not difficult to understand. Why is it a gross dream? When we dreamt of at night, we have said, yes. Why is a dream not valuable? Because it's temporary. So this life, everything that's happening is also temporary. That's the first thing what Krishna says to Arjuna. Deyosmin shatati kamramchavnam chara tatadyantarapaptirti. Your body changes, Krishna says to Arjuna. Krishna does not say to Arjuna, because I'm a Hindu god and you are a Hindu, your body is changing. And by that you have to take birth again. Christians or Muslims, their body is not changing, but your body is changing. No, these are eternal principles, universal principles. Like, I'm getting, in a few months, 50 years old. When I look 33 years back, I was 7 years old. I was living in a little village around Brussels. My native language was the Old Flemish language, and the Old Flemish culture was very prevalent. But all the older people that I knew at that time, they are now dead. They are not there anymore. The next generation started to educate their children in Dutch, not in Flemish anymore, the Old Flemish dialect which I was speaking. So my language disappeared. Nobody speaks it anymore. It's all Dutch now, no Flemish anymore. And then all the people I know, they are not there anymore. The culture completely changed. Most people are now French speaking there, not Flemish anymore. And all the houses changed. Nobody knows me anymore. Sometimes I think, did it really happen? Just like a dream. And that's what it is. We are like children at the beach. At the beach they make a sand castle with the round, the chapel with the walls, with the boundaries and water around, and everything is nice. We construct everything nice. And then suddenly the flood comes. Everything is destroyed. You can start over again. It's like the big professor. I told that yesterday. I can tell it a little more in detail now. Big professor. A big professor had different PhD titles, and he got the Nobel Prize. And he gave lectures at different universities. And he was praised for his achievements in life. He was writing articles for scientific magazines. That he was well renowned. He was asked to speak at many important occasions all over the world. And one day, our professor comes again in the newspaper. Professor X. That in memoriam, he died. Then all his achievements, details about the funeral. He was praised like anything. Our professor was a little pious. He was a vegetarian. He was not too sinful. So he was very lucky to take again birth as a human. And he takes birth. 9 months after birth, then what does our professor say? Says, Mama, Mama. He learns how to speak. He learns how to walk. He learns how to read and write. He has to learn everything again. So unless we become a doctor of the soul, we will take birth again and again, punah punah sarvata sarvananam, do useless activities thinking we are the doer, and get the honor which must go to Krishna because he is the doer. And we try to derive happiness from matter. But we do not belong in this material world. Laat Maharaj's Natevitus Vartratimi Visnam Darasi Bairachtamanina. Yatayatan Deropaniamanas Kapishatantram Damni Bada. Laat Maharaj's Natevitus Vartratim Visnam. As long as one does know that Krishna or Vishnu is the goal of life, then a blind man will let another blind man, and they fall into a ditch of sense gratification. And they will, by their illusion, take a rope for a snake and become fearful. Because that's what we do. If we are identified with the body, they become fearful, because we are fearful of losing the body. It's very strong. We are all afraid from death. If you are self-realized, you are not afraid from death. Then you have realized you are the soul. So, today I brought the bad news. Tomorrow we speak about the good news. And about symptoms of liberated souls. And then at least I've given you symptoms of conditioned and liberated souls, and then you have to practice devotional service to go from one stage to another. So, are there questions? Yes.
I was wondering how we can come from the stage of understanding to the stage of realization.
Well, how to come from the stage of understanding to realization? Well, I hope today that you understand what conditioned means. And if you meditate on that, I think you will come to the conclusion that you have full realization of being conditioned. That's not so difficult to have full realization of how we are conditioned. But anyway, we should become awake and understand, yes, these 4 points, how far you have really to go into it and understand how this I and mine is illusion, and how this engagement for temporary fruits is illusion, that it doesn't bring any satisfaction. That go over your life. Why are you sitting here today? Maybe you are not satisfied with material life. That may be one of the reasons, the distress. Most of us come to that path, that we're distressed. Yes, we are distressed. So many problems. You get in sex life. You meet a girl that, and in the beginning it's like you have a bubble gum. It tastes nice in the beginning, but then after some time the taste goes out. What do you do when the taste goes out of the bubble gum. You spit it out. so we have a relationship with a nice girl, and in the beginning it's love at the first sight. But then after some time the taste goes out. It's when things love means I gratify your senses and you gratify my senses. But the sense gratification in the beginning nice, but then very soon it goes down, and then we're saying this love turns into hate, and that these things are happening. Love turns into hate. That's a duality in which we are in, because we are conditioned. We are conditioned, so we think we are the body, and then we think that's good for the body. I like that, and that's not good for the body. This person, he gives me something, that's a nice person. The other person takes something from me, he's my enemy. He has taken something from me. This illusion, these are the main symptoms. But then you have to go a little deeper there and see in all your activities what's the consequence of that. If you think you are this body, that yaisam sparsaya boga yona dukaya evate atyanta vantakanteya nateshu ramate buddha. Krishna says in the 5th chapter, yaisam sparsaya boga, one who strives for sense gratification, dukkha evate, it's a source of misery, because atyanta vantakanteya, it's temporary as a beginning and an end. Why is it a source of misery? Like, I want to eat, right? That I want to satisfy my stomach, I want to eat. So this material world is so cruel that you need at least to eat plants. If you are pious, you are vegetarian. These plants, how do they grow? Because there is a soul inside. You have to kill the plants. You are killing plants. And inside are living entities like we. That's a painful thing for the living entity. So by killing the plants, for the pleasure of your senses, you will get a reaction. A painful reaction later. So that sense gratification, it's a cause of misery, because you try to enjoy your senses, but then the misery comes later. It's always action and reaction. That's infallible justice. When you want to enjoy, yes, later to suffer for that. When one causes suffering to others, he will get a reaction also for that. So it's the cause of suffering. That sense gratification is not something that makes you happy. It's just trying to counteract the distresses of the body. That's what it is. And that requires a deep realization. So now you understand some basic things, but don't think because you are walking out of here that you know how you are conditioned. Now you have to go deeper and disentangle the mind from so many things. And that is done by hearing the Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam, each verse comes up with a spiritual technique. And this spiritual technique you have to apply in your life. And if you don't know how to apply it, first you have to understand it. And then apply it. If you don't understand it or know how to apply it, you need the help of a spiritual master who did that before and was successful in it. He can explain you how to do it. But this is really a very deep thing, because the test is if you are not free from sexual attraction, then you are deeply conditioned. That if you are fearful from things, you are deeply conditioned. So it's not by knowledge just alone that one gets out of the conditioned state. No, now one has to control the senses by devotional service, by fixing the mind on Krishna. Because if you fix your mind on things in this world, you will create attachment and commentarity. You have to fix your mind on Krishna. But the factuality in that is, and that's very strange, that everything in this world is done by Krishna. Krishna is everywhere in this world. He's arranging the beating of your heart now. He's doing everything. So if one has knowledge, one can see through this knowledge and see how Krishna does things in this world. And then, yeah, that's what Krishna says, that one comes to the point of seeing Krishna within everything and outside of everything. Yeah. Yamam pashati sarvatra sarvam samai pashati tasyam napanashami sasame napanashami. So one sees Krishna in everything and everything in Krishna. And if one sees, in that way one is connected always with Krishna. If you see Krishna in the heart of every living entity, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmanakava, it's Hastini, Sunishev, Svapakasha, Panta Samadakshana. One sees the living entity, the soul in every living entity, in an elephant, in a Brahman, in a dog. Then one comes to the point of spiritual consciousness, gathering. Because then, when you go out and you see the grass, you will be careful walking on the grass. You know, these are living entities. I don't want to cause them harm. I don't want to overeat. Just what I need, because I know living entities are killed for that. Of course, we offer things to Krishna. Then Krishna accepts we are free from karma. And still we should not eat for sense gratification. That's also an art to learn. To learn how to eat with your intelligence and not with what I feel is nice, not what tastes nice, but everything what I like I pop in my mouth and then that's no, it's by realizing you are a soul, there is all culture going together, the culture of the soul. That so many things to learn. We have been educated in modern educational systems, which are slaughterhouses of consciousness. You have all been prepared to become good consumers in society. But Praladna Kamara Chirpachyo Dharmam Bhartamyam Dulapam Samchamyam Tapya Dhruvamartadam. From the age of Kamara, 5 age, one which should train oneself in Krishna consciousness. And then when one becomes at the age of 18, 20 years old, then one's mind is fully controlled. And then you can go into the Grihastha ashram without being attached, without being sexually attracted. This is the Brahminical love. Anyway, so what I want to say is a lot to learn. This is the basic principles. But now,
I have one question.
Okay, maybe the last one. Yeah,
I was waiting all classes to ask also.
Okay, then we have two questions. Okay. Yeah, you say.
You say you can go to family without, you can have a family without attachment to the sexuality. But the family exists because of the attachment to the sexuality. Not.
Yeah, for the conditioned soul, that's true.
Okay.
But the family in the Vedic system, which is spiritual culture, there a young man he doesn't go out and seek his soulmate or his spouse. No, he just remains at home, and his father will arrange a marriage for him with a girl with the same likings. It's done by comparing astrological cards. And then the young man will marry on the order of his spiritual master. He doesn't decide himself to marry. In ISKCON this is degraded to the because we are too conditioned. We can't not take to this process of doing it on the order of the spiritual master. But anyway, better for self-realization, better is you don't enter the Ashrama. So Prabhupada said, all men should remain brahmacharis and all women should marry. And the temple president to solve that problem, I think. Your question.
It's only to clarify, you told that Srila Bhaktivinoda told that by chanting the holy names without offense, we can get Krishna Prem.
Yep.
But it is possible to chant the holy names without offense if we don't make sadhana, if we don't ask for the best of the Guru and the other steps. Is it possible to chant the holy names without offenses, without knowing all other steps before?
No. You have to follow the process. That's a process for all nitya baddhas, eternal conditioned soul. You have to follow Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. There's no way out. There are nitya siddhas, these are eternal liberated souls. These are like Mother Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj, they are the eternal father. They don't follow sadhana, they are the spiritual platform. But we have all to follow the process, yes. There's no way out. But first we have to understand what's the process. Because I have the experience, I'm 20 years practicing Krishna consciousness, and I know my conception of spiritual life is changing. You come gradually up to goodness, where you then can understand what spiritual life means. But it takes a while. It can take 30, 40 years. Once you are on that platform, you are practically liberated. But in our conditioned state, it's very difficult to understand what spiritual life really means. But what's helpful is a deep study of Bhagavad Gita. Because this is based on the Bhagavatam, this seminar, but I did not speak much about the Bhagavatam. Because Bhagavatam is for very advanced devotees. You first have to know Bhagavad Gita. And I mean to know Bhagavad Gita. You have to know really what's in every verse, practically, in every chapter, before study the Bhagavatam. Because if you read the Bhagavatam, then in the Bhagavatam, in every purport, Srila Prabhupada, he quotes verses of Bhagavad Gita. Why is he doing that? He's always going back to the basis. So the Bhagavatam explains how to practice the Bhagavad Gita, but you first have to know Bhagavad Gita. So my request to you is please study Bhagavad Gita. Bring you out of illusion. And it's not an easy thing to understand Bhagavad Gita. Don't think you understand so easily. It will take a long time but gradually, by the practice of devotional service, you get to understand more and more. I hope that's helpful. See you tomorrow for the liberated souls and the good news. Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.